XCOM is it's a really beloved franchise, and it's one that, personally means a lot to me. It's a game that I treasured years and years ago, and so it's super exciting to be able to come back and sort of reinvigorate the franchise with a new entry that really adheres to the tenets of what made the original games so special. Our telling of XCOM is an origin story. It's about experiencing the origins of this organization from a really zoomed in and boots on the ground perspective. We really wanted to make you feel like what it was like to be one of the squaddies in the original game, and not the all-knowing top-down commander.
Past games were all about a global UFO defense agency, a kind of task force made of the best from across the whole world who were supposed to repel an alien invasion. In XCOM, our game, which is its own kind of new origin story that follows its own timeline, XCOM begins as a United States federal task force built out of intelligence officers from the CIA and DIA. Their job is to repel an invasion from within the country. They're being infiltrated and they know it.
We've taken a lot of the mythos that had been previously established and sort of reimagined it or re-engineered it, like sort of the very small, humble roots of the organization before it became this globe-spanning, globally funded anti-alien defense force.
We wanted the aliens in XCOM to be unique and be compelling and surprising. Portray them not as your archetypical nasty, snarling monster alien, but by sort of looking to a very technology-based aesthetic.
One of their primary goals in being here is actually to terraform our world, to transform it into something for them. At first, you see small little signs, like small little bits of cancer sort of starting to grow and form and grow in our world. And it seems very kind of jagged and sort of very disruptive, but that's because it's youthful, and our world are very much like oil and water, or like, kind of like matter and antimatter. They kind of fight each other. But eventually what you see throughout the game is eventually their world kind of wins and starts to grow and become more this cubic, perfect kind of pristine version of their own home world.
But a lot of the places that you're going to go are kind of half and half. They're what was a pristine and vibrant American community, which has now been, or is in the process of being actively terraformed by alien technology.
The XCOM of our game is a kind of unconventional organization by the standards of the time. It has an idiosyncratic thinker that put it together, and is specifically looking for people who are compensating for some kind of disadvantage. So you'll find a lot of the core cast are not necessarily what people think of as an invincible G-man. They have a different background, or they come from a politically more sensitive sort of demographic. And over the course of the game, you get to know why that was, why the character who put it together thinks that that's necessary.
The base is really the hub of XCOM as an organization. It changes and evolves over the course of the game. It's someplace that you return to after every single mission, and it serves as both a sort of story and social space for you to have conversations with other characters, learn more about the world of XCOM, see how other people are reacting to the war as it progresses, and really immerse yourself in the world of 1962. But it's also your main hub for gameplay.
You will obviously manage and recruit agents. Agents are your extensions of your willpower out in the battlefield, your buddies that you use to combat the alien threat. You'll be upgrading their powers, leveling them up. It's very sort of RPG-esque.
The research area, for example, is where the scientific staff live. You're able to engage in the research economy through spending Illyrium on various designs. Most of them are based on captured alien technology, and so Dr. Weir helps you understand what the sort of strengths and weaknesses of each of those tools are, and you get to be the one who decides which ones you want to take.
Or the map room run by Angela, where you can survey all of the different emergencies that are currently taking place in the US where XCOM might be dispatched.
When you go and use the map, it'll be populated with a variety of opportunities, which are the missions that you can go on.
Imagine it like an RPG world map, where quests, come and go. There's primary quests and secondary quests.
There are backbone missions that drive the plot forward, and there are dozens of other kind of strategic opportunities that pop up. And if you take one, you may lose the other. The
country itself will start to change over. You'll see where the outsiders have encroached across the map of America, where you've lost territory, where it's been fighting back. So it has a very sort of dynamic feel of the ebb and flow of the front lines.
The primary impact of choosing one mission over another is economical, meaning it affects the core player growth curve. You can decide to invest in this piece of research and not that, or this agent power and this agent upgrade, and let another one atrophy. As a result, individual players can kind of customize the sort of array of options they've got in the field based on those choices, the choices inside the base.
There's also like little mini quests in the base. There's sort of like side quests that go on. So you'll interact with the different characters, learn more about their stories.
The central characters of the game, you can go and talk to them, and you'll have dialogue options, and you'll be able to basically mine out as much of the story as you want by engaging in these conversations. XCOM is a story about some real people with flaws and conflicts, and they're thrown into this situation against essentially overwhelming enemy that it's difficult to tell if they can even be defeated. And only by assembling the brightest minds, the smartest people that the world has to offer, are you even going to have a hope of defeating this enemy.